In today's video, I'm going to walk you through a Sun, Moon and Rising spread. Hi, welcome back to Lunar Pumpkin. I'm Emily Coucher, founder of Lunar Pumpkin, an astrologer, moon lover, inspirational speaker, and tarot and oracle card lover. So the cards I'm using, I've got Colette Baron Reid's The Good Tarot. We have Universal Weight deck, and we also have Yasmin Boland's Moonology, just because it'd be nice to have a little bit of the moon, seeing as we are the new moon. So let's get started. I'll just remove some of my crystals. Beautiful, beautiful Labrador, right? I don't know if you can see its glimmer. And let's get shuffling. So Aries, it's the new moon in Aries, so that means that the sun and the moon are both conjunct, they're both next to each other in the same sign. So what do we need to know for you if you're Aries, sun, moon or rising, for your highest good? So we have the Nine of Earth, we have from the Universal Weight deck, oh, card just jumped out for you, we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed, and let's have a Moonology card to go with that as well. We have luck is on your side. I feel we need one more tarot card to go with it. Let's go for the Good Tarot again. So we've got a full story of the tarot and then the oracle to work with. And hopefully from the oracle you'll be able to create an intention if you should want to. And setting intentions are really powerful when you set them for the new moon. So you're calling in exactly what you want to manifest, your goals, and seeing them as though they've already happened, because if you see them as the wish fulfilled, you're seeing them with so much energy and you're really calling into the universe that this is what I need, this is what's going to happen, and it's happening. It's making a start. Okay, and we also have the Eight of Earth. So let's lay this out a little better. Right, so the Nine of Earth. So I would say that Earth cards are really grounding, but also about your resources and things. And with nines, you're not quite at that completion stage with what you're asking about. So with all the earth energy and the woman, let's see, she looks like she's really asking and praying for some guidance. So some of the wisdom that you have, or the wisdom that you need, partly comes from you, but also you might need to call upon wisdom from a higher source. So kind of surrendering what it is that you need a little bit. So not being too focused on the how something occurs, but being a Pentacles card, being a card about our resources and things. Maybe there's a case of trying to pull your resources but not be so final, and leave a little bit of what's needed to come up. Just allow, sort of going with the flow with it a bit, and sort of using that little bit of surrender where needed. So then putting that together, we've got the Ace of Pentacles. So aces are about new beginnings and fresh starts. So being another Pentacles card, another Coins card, or Earth, should we say. So maybe there's a lot of things that you still need to learn if you're starting with the project or whatever you're asking about. And maybe you have some past resources and things you can use to help you. So those together are quite nice in a way. We're still having quite a grounded energy. And if your beginnings are new with what it is you're working with, there's probably quite a long way to go, but that's okay. And we've got another Earth card. So yes, so that was in the upright position. Ace of Pentacles was reversed, so it's possibly a case of starting again. So you might have tried this already, but then maybe you've learned something along the way, and there's still a fair bit to go. And then we have this Eight of Earth, which was also in reverse. So eights can be very much about transformation. Yeah, I think this is quite reassuring, that they're all about perhaps pooling your resources, learning a bit along the way, and not sort of jumping too much into something. So maybe Aries not being quite so impulsive with your decision making. And we actually have a lovely oracle to go with this, that luck is on your side. So if luck is on your side, you're doing okay. So I think it's again about surrendering, and it's a new moon in Sagittarius card. So Sagittarius is very much about sort of expanding your horizons, and there's this sort of travel and the philosophy in there. But it's still very much about learning. So to me, this whole reading feels like you're still learning and exploring, looking at what's been, in order to make sure that you can learn from your lessons, but also grow with it, and not being too precise or wanting things to happen so impulsively or immediately. Aries, I really hope that helps for you. That's yours. So let's put those back to the decks they came from, and we will continue. So Taurus, what do you need to know for this Aries new moon? And oh, we've got a card also that's come out. I think I'm just going to use those. We seem to have 4 cards. Oh my goodness. Right. And they're all water cards. So they're actually all in reverse. So you've got a 9 and a 10. So I would suggest there's completion things there, and feelings. It's very much, there's sort of a certainty about your feelings, and some transformation, and also there's the comparing and connecting. So maybe you're connecting your feelings, Taurus, at this time. And maybe it's a time that you don't want to be necessarily out in the world so much. It's probably a time to really lean in and be more solitary, shall we say, because perhaps you just need to have that time out from the world to recover from whatever it is that you've been going through, so that you can then move forward in whatever you're asking for. I'm just going to pull an oracle because it's not 100% clear for me what it is that you're being asked there. So maybe the oracle card will give us a bit of clarity for you, Taurus. But to me, it does seem like quite there's emotions and trauma perhaps that's been worked through. And then there might still be some to come, some emotions and some solitary time needed, some time out from the world to recover from whatever it is you've been going through. Okay. Oh, perfect. So maybe there's feelings about whether you're feeling like you're good enough, about feeling whether you're stable, etc. And to me, this suggests you might have been quite hard and critical on yourself recently. And the universe is reminding you, or source energy, that actually you're always good enough. And it's quite reassuring that the universe still supports you. And once you've come out the other side of whatever you're going through at the moment, there should be good things on the way for you. I hope that's really helpful for you, Taurus. Okay, so next we have Gemini. So what does Gemini need to know about this Aries New Moon? Well, with it, actually the Aries New Moon, you've got the Sun and the Moon both in Aries. But it's also the first Aries New Moon of the year, so we call it the astrological new year, which is exciting, because Aries is that first sign of the zodiac. Okay, so Gemini, you have the Three of Cups, and so there's comparing and connecting, very much about perhaps being celebratory. Yeah, well, feels like a very positive card. So celebrating your relationships, and looking at whatever you feel, leaning into that. Oh, there's a card that's just jumped out. So we have the Seven of Water as well. And sevens are about reflection and assessment. So they can act as warning signs. but you don't necessarily need to be justifying your actions. So if it's a 7 of water or cups, so yeah, basically they're 2 cups or water cards so far. So the celebration of what's been going on recently, and so you should be proud of your connections and what you've been up to, and then emotions wise, there might be some reflection after what's gone on, so what's worked, what hasn't worked perhaps, and just being mindful of where you're going from there. And then we have another card as well. Let's see what else we have. Take another one of these. We have one in reverse here. What have we got? Oh, so we've got a 5 of Swords. Okay, so 5s can sometimes be about crises or things that are a little tricky. And Swords are sort of about air really, and it's our expression. And how we communicate, and that sort of thing. So there's sort of celebrations of emotions, there's your being reflective about what has worked well and what hasn't, just being careful not to, I think, not to boast or to take everything for granted, but just be open and receptive to what comes up. So yes, I think there might be some tweaks to iron out in whatever it is you're asking about, but communication will be a lovely thing for you to do, whether it's in writing, verbally, in person, online, however it is that you need to communicate whatever's going on. It might be about communicating your feelings more clearly, but there's certainly some celebratory energy there and how you've connected with others, and maybe just keep up some of your good work. Right, where are we at? We've had Aries and we've had Taurus and Gemini. Okay, so Cancer. Oh, I don't think I gave you an oracle. Let's give you an... Oh, sorry, let's give you an oracle. We got so many cards for Taurus, didn't we? Let's see. Okay, so your oracle card in Gemini. So your communication is being tested. That is actually speaking perhaps again as a bit of clarity towards that last card. So yeah, just being very clear and concise and not taking things too much for granted in how you communicate your needs and your desires and whatever it is that you're working on. And because it's come up as a quarter moon, yes, it's kind of saying about there might be some challenges to work through with communicating from here onwards about whatever you're working on. But there's still some celebration and still some connections and emotions and things that you've you probably worked through, or you might still be going through, I think is still optimistic. Okay, so now let's go to Cancer. So Cancer, what do you need to know for this Aries new moon for your highest good? Okay, we've got the Chariot in reverse. So the Chariot to me often speaks about driving forward with any goals, desires, and whatever it is you're working on. So there can also be about aligning your energy with your current circumstances. So being in reverse, there might need to be a bit of reflection and a few tweaks in what you're going through before you can continue to sort of push forward. Perhaps something like meditation might help you gain some clarity. Okay, so that's your first card. What do we have to go with that? Oh, we have the Strength card. So perhaps reminding you to be strong, and reminding you that you have a lot of personal power within you, and maybe you don't need to rely quite so much on the external world. It's sort of remembering you have that power. And actually there's a lion on the card as well, so that reminds me again of courage. So being brave in order to move forward. And that was in the upright position. Okay, and what else? What else does Cancer need to know? Oh, we have the Justice card. So there's speaks a bit about karma and balance. So Cancer, there's probably a sense that there may be some things that have gone really well, some that haven't, and not to be too harsh on yourself if things haven't gone to plan yet. Because we had the Chariot anyway, didn't we, about pushing through, but being reflective on what has been before you can push through. We had Strength card reminding you that you've got that personal power within you, and you can move forward with some courage, but also sometimes there needs to be a little bit of balance, so the give and the take side of things, remembering that if you really want to go for something, you can, but don't expect it necessarily to happen all at once, and balance out a little bit of give and take, pushing forward a little, but also waiting and surrendering to the divine, so you're not necessarily so focused on how things will come into place, but have courage that they will. Okay, and let's give you an oracle card to go with that. And your oracle card is, we've had this one before. I did shuffle, I promise. So your commitment is being tested. So yes, again, if this is something that you really want, that you're going after at the moment, or you're asking about today, for the new moon, I guess it's a question of, do you really want it? And if you do, have that courage, use your inner power, and commit fully to what it is you're after. Because you have to be dedicated in order to achieve your goals and have that inner strength. I hope that's helpful for you, Cancer. Right. Oops. So next we have Leo. So what does Leo need to know with this new moon in Aries? Oh, I want to rescue that one from the floor. Okay, so you have the Three of Water. So there's the connecting your feelings, really. So it's probably connections with your own feelings and those of others. Just being aware of what comes up. And I guess because it was in reverse, I'm guessing it's putting your own feelings first before you can take on the connections with others. So to me it feels a bit like it's about self-care. So really being aware and taking care of yourself before you connect with other people. So what else do you need to know, Leo? Mix it up a bit. Let's do this one next. Oh, there we go. Okay, you've got the Queen of Swords in the upright position. So Queen's about mastery. And being a queen, it's sort of about the intuitive, receptive mastery. So kings are very much more dominant and very action-oriented, whereas the queens are more in the receptive, intuitive nature in how they approach things, but they're still very, very accomplished in how they do so. So far, to me, that would suggest that once you are aware of your own feelings and how you can connect with other people in what it is you're working on, then you will be a master in how you communicate this to whoever you need to communicate it to show it out and get it out into the world, to resolve things, to really achieve whatever your goals are at this moment in time. Okay, so then what else do you need to know, Leo? Oh, transformation. It's in reverse, so chances are you've been doing a lot of inner work, a lot of shadow work, and really working on yourself quite a bit already. But perhaps there's still a little bit more to go, because that's at the end of our story here. So for me, this is suggesting that you have a little bit of work to do in order to work out exactly your feelings before you connect with others. When you've done that, you will be very, very adept, very capable of mastering the communication from a very intuitive, receptive way, and it will be transformational once you achieve your goal. I think that's very powerful. I think that's really, really lovely for you, Leo. And let's give you an oracle. What do you need to sort of sum up your message as a clarification? A new start is coming. How apt is that? We're on a new moon and a new start is coming. So after all that transformation and the inner work, a new start is coming. I think that's really positive. Yes, I love that reading for you, Leo. Okay, so next we have Virgo. What do we need to know for Virgo for this new moon? Oh, okay, we've got a card there. We've got a messenger of water in reverse. So messengers are, they're the knights in this deck. So knights tend to strive forward, and of water, it's striving forward with emotions and really powerfully feeling into what's going on. There's a fair bit that's already been learnt, so you're likely headed in the right direction, but not a master just yet of whatever it is you're working on. Okay, so what else do you need to know? Okay, Virgo, so you have a Six of Swords. So sixes can often be about repairing or accomplishing things after there's been a setback. So chances are you might have had some communication issues with an individual or individuals, which are likely resolving. So being also in the upright position, it suggests that you're still headed in the right direction and things will likely work out quite well for you. Okay, what else do we need to know for you? Let's find out, Virgo. It's a bit of a chunk there. So you have the Chariot in reverse. So a chariot, we said, was about striving forward, having reflected on a lot of the past, but it's in reverse again. So there might still be things that need to be ironed out before you can move forward after all the work that you've done. I think it's basically saying that things will likely happen, but there's so much uncertainty here as to how they will come about. But you've done quite a lot of work already in the foundations of what you're working on. But basically don't lose hope, because once you've gone through any kinks, ironed anything out, then you can push forward. I hope that makes sense. I'm just going to draw your clarity card, as it were, your oracle, and we'll see whether it's any clearer. Okay, and you have a new romantic cycle begins. Oh, well, that's quite a dreamy, loving energy. It was in a upright position as well. So maybe what you're working on is love at the moment. I think that's quite positive. So there's been some emotions, there's been some communication, a few little things to iron out, and then maybe romance, whether you're in a relationship or you're looking for one, could be on the horizon. Or just something very dreamy and positive, whatever that may be for you. Oh, I love that for you. Okay, next we have Libra. So Libra, what do you need to know for this new moon? Right, well we'll use those. We've had 3 cards pop out for you. And you have the Page of Swords, the 9 of Swords, and the 10 of Swords. Oh, they're all swords. And actually they're all in the upright position as well. So, Page of Swords, you might be quite new to what it is you're working on or what you're asking about in this moment. So we all have to start somewhere. So why not start at the beginning with your communication, your research, your ideas, etc. And with the 9 of Swords, there's a fair bit of independent study or research, or maybe even journaling might be useful to get clear on what it is you're working on. And then we have the 10 of Swords, so chances are that once you've done any research, formulated any ideas, that actually what you're looking for is very achievable. I think that's very positive for you. Let's get an oracle to go with that. I have shuffled, I promise. You have the card, A New Start is Coming. So that completing your reading, basically there's a new opportunity, isn't there? I think that's lovely. So next we go on to we have Scorpio. What does Scorpio need to know for this Aries new moon? Let's find out. We have the Three of Fire reversed. Threes often about our connections, so connecting with other people, and being of fire. So your creativity, your passion, connecting your creativity and passion with other people. I wonder whether that's going to be some passion in love life, perhaps. Let's see what the rest of your story holds. It obviously depends what you're asking for, but connections with other people in a creative way, I think that's usually very good, isn't it? Whatever that's about for you. And we have a Three of Swords. So there's more connection and communication with it this time. Maybe you're connecting or communicating your ideas with others. Maybe you're working on a collaborative project, and really using your creativity. The fire and air go very well together. So yes, that's very positive. Let's do another one of these ones. Oh, we have one in reverse, but what have we got? So we've got a Four of Pentacles. So Pentacles or coins is about, it's earth. It's about our resources and things. So chances are you're doing quite well with collaborating, but there might be some hurdles that come up, either financially, or whether there's sort of enough resources to go around for whatever it is you're asking about. But at least the beginnings of whatever it is you're working on are quite creative and passionate and communicative. So I don't think this is necessarily bad. I think it's a case of there was just a few little tweaks to work out with either finances or resources for your project. Let's get our clarity from the Oracle one. Okay, hold your vision. Perfect. So with all the passion or creative project or whatever it is that you're asking about, and your lovely, strong, collaborative communication, and maybe a few tweaks to resources, your vision will likely happen quite nicely. So hold that vision in mind. It's not a no. It's a needs work, but not a no. Love that. Okay. So that's for you, Scorpio. So next we have Sagittarius. And what does Sagittarius need to know for this new moon in Aries? So Aries is that very initiatory, leadership, that first fire sign, all about the self, maybe the body and our energy levels, etc. And we have the Aries is symbolised by the ram. So the ram kind of pushes forward anyway. Okay. So it was in reverse, but you've got the Patience card. So that's for you, Sagittarius, the patience card. Maybe at this moment in time you haven't been too patient, or you've been a bit anxious, or really wanting a lot of results to come instantly. Let's see what the rest of the story is for you. We've got another card in reverse. We've got a Wands card. We've got a Four of Wands. So there might be some collaboration needed in your creative pursuits. So yeah, being patient and collaborating with others where needed. Let's see what else the rest of your story holds. I always say that collaboration is stronger than competition anyway. Oh, so you've got the Moon card. To me, the Moon is all about receptivity. It's not necessarily a really dominant, powerful card. It's more a case of allowing. So with your particular goal in mind, patience is obviously needed, and some kind of collaboration perhaps with other people, and allowing the results to unfold how they may. So not being too focused too much on the exact how that things come up. Let's just get a clarity card for you of the Oracle one. The Moon was in the upright position, which is good. Oh, card just popped out. Again, hold your vision. So it's not a no. It's really being clear on what you want, and having a bit of patience, a bit of understanding, collaborating where needed. I guess you don't have to do it all alone, whatever it is you're working on. But I quite like that for hold your vision for you again. Right, so next we come to Capricorn. So if your Sun, Moon or Rising is in Capricorn, what do you need to know at this time? The Aries New Moon. Okay, you have the Three of Wands in reverse. So Wands are the fire, or the creativity, the passion. Maybe you need to be thinking more about your own vision, your own creativity and passions. Perhaps you've been collaborating already a lot with other people. And maybe there's some connections that aren't quite so healthy that have been going on at the moment for you. Let's see what the next card has in store, and then we can work out a bit further what the message should be, and where to go with that. Okay, so you've got a Three of Earth in reverse. So Earth is again our pentacles, our resources, money, finances. So okay, so if you've been so very creative or passionate about what you've been working on, or what you'd like to work on, and perhaps it hasn't worked out so well. Maybe there's a new direction in how you need to go forward, and maybe there's some communicating or some finances you need to pull together to look at what you're doing differently. Perhaps it's not working in the way you want it to just yet. Let's get another card again for you. Okay, so you have a Six of Swords. So to me this suggests that you might have already gone through some indecisive times, some maybe not so pleasant times, had a few challenges and things, but actually there's some good ideas and some good communication or things on the horizon for you. Yeah, I think that's still quite positive. I guess it's coming out the other side of some harder times that you might have gone through. Let's get your oracle card to go with that. Oh, perfect. Have faith in your dreams. So if there's some good ideas and some good communications projects, etc., that are on the horizon, really have faith that it will work out for you. I don't think there's much clearer point than that. Have the faith anyway. Have faith in your dreams. I love that. So that was Capricorn. Okay. So what does Aquarius need to know for this Aries new moon? Okay, we have a messenger of earth. And messengers in this deck are the knights, so they're striving forward, not quite masters yet in what they're doing, but they've learnt a lot along the way. So you quite likely have the resources, the finances, or the abundant vision in mind, and because it was in reverse, it hasn't quite accomplished, you haven't quite achieved it just yet, but you know what it is you're looking for, perhaps. So let's continue. Okay, you have the Hanged Man card. I will just refresh myself, because I think the Hangman is about our sort of changes in circumstances, and I don't think it's quite as bad as it appears, if that makes sense. Bear with me. Okay, it's in the upright position anyway, so okay, yeah, so it's about trials. It is along the lines that I was thinking. So really being discerning about what it is you're doing or what it is you're after. So you've already probably learned quite a lot along the way. You know your direction you're headed. I guess be more discerning, be more focused. yeah, being really clear on what it is you're looking for. So we have, let's do another card for you as well. Oh, there's one behind. Oh, and we have the Star card. And it's in the upright position as well. So the Star card's all about our inspiration. So having learned quite a bit along the way about what it is you're working on, being clear on your resources, and being discerning about what you want. Don't lose sight of the inspiration. Still lean into what comes up. Be receptive and allow what happens to happen in its own way. But don't lose sight of what your original vision is. Because actually it's probably quite inspired. And that's why it's important to you. That's why you're working on it. Okay, let's get your clarity via your oracle with the Moonology deck. Okay, so after all that then, your hard work is paying off. That's good to know. And we have Pisces. What does Pisces need to know for this Aries new moon? We have the King of Earth in reverse. So kings are about mastery, but really active mastery. So being in reverse, perhaps you've got all the skills and all the knowledge and everything you need to achieve what it is you're wanting to achieve, or to work on what it is you have in this situation. But for whatever reason, maybe you're ignoring the instincts you've got. But you have all the tools you need to succeed. And let's look at more of what's going on for you, what you need to know. Or you have the Chariot. So I guess it's a case of remembering what it is that you have all the skills within you, and then push through. Really move forward with it. So no going back, no second guessing yourself, really push forward. It's in the upright position. Loads of cards. Okay, so then you have the Six of Pentacles. So maybe you were a little nervous or anxious about some kind of outcome, but it looks like your luck is about to turn around, and if you do remember that you have that skill set, you have all those tools that you need within you, you move forward, and then you're likely to get an abundant result. And that's what it feels to me that's coming up as. A very good result. So let's get your clarity, your oracle card, to fulfill the rest of your reading. Finally, Pisces. Oh. Okay, and luck is on your side. But it was in reverse, so it's just like a little bit of a tweak. And once you've done all that work, luck will be on your side. I reckon that's really good. So I hope this was a very useful reading for you all. I've actually got this setup here is quite new. I've had a lot of these crystals for some time, but this cloth is brand new, received today, and this deck I actually received today as well. I really quite like them. Well, have a wonderful new moon. Use it wisely, set those intentions, and accept that at the time of the new moon your energy levels are like to be lower. So maybe wait 2 to 3 days before you start making actions on what it is that you're working on. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm sending so much love from my heart to yours. Namaste.